Welcome back to Sportz Blitz Live. Luke Robinson with the Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Blitz. I want to thank Mike Bradbury and everybody over there at Bradbury Medical Center for sponsoring this segment for some time now. Let's start with a little good news. Alabama recruiting, still unanimous #1 team recruiting-wise across the board. ESPN 24/7 rivals, all of them right now, scout. And they've got a lot of guys left on the board now. It's going to be a race to the finish here. You got guys like Malachi Dupree, who is a fabulous wide receiver out of Louisiana. He's probably going to go to LSU. There's no doubt. It's very difficult to get folks away from Louisiana State University in that state. But Alabama has made a strong push. I think in the end he's going to choose LSU, but you never know. Matt Elam, I talked about him several times in this segment. Huge mountain of a man from Kentucky. He looks like he wants to go to Alabama, but sometimes that home state just pulls at you. And he's got a gravitational force. He's so big, so maybe he's pulling at Kentucky. In the end, I'm going to predict Matt Elam does sign with Alabama. Marlon Humphrey, of course, is down to Alabama and Florida State. Marlon Humphrey made a surprise visit the other day to Alabama. That's a good thing. But the track and field programs may play a role here. Mom and dad may play a role here. It's going to be interesting. This one's almost too tight to call. I guess I will lean to Alabama until proven otherwise, but man, Marlon Humphrey sure is loving on Florida State right now. Juju Smith, super athlete out of California. Nick Saban will be visiting him soon. I think he's going to stay out west. Rashaan Evans, we've talked about him in this program earlier. He's out of Auburn High School. I think he's the best player in the state of Alabama this year. I do believe he will be going to Auburn. Rock Thomas, Alabama's trying to get back on him a little bit. Lane Kiffin has visited him, I should say. And I think Alabama will make a run, but it's too little too late. He will end up signing with Auburn. And Chad Thomas, a 5-star defensive end out of the Miami area. He's been committed to the Hurricanes for quite some time, but he has announced today that he will be visiting Alabama January 31st. And Alabama's going to make a real run at this kid, and he was incredible in the Under Armour All-American game. I think he's the kind of guy Alabama is desperately looking for in a pass rush situation. Talking about basketball just for a minute, and my goodness gracious, Alabama down by 1 point at half to Missouri the other day after looking okay at times in the first half, putrid in the second half, just absolutely putrid. 4 field goals. It was abysmal. You can't even watch it. You definitely can't watch it, and you certainly couldn't listen to it. The disappointment around this program right now is at an all-time high. I don't know what else to say. I've said it over and over again. I kept wanting things to get better. I think the Anthony Grant regime is coming to a close. Alabama may not can him this year because the league is not great. Alabama may eke out enough wins to have the excuse to keep Anthony Grant around, but quite frankly, I don't see this getting any better under Grant's tenure. Right now, Alabama is only one of 2 teams in the SEC with a losing record, Alabama and South Carolina. It's pretty pathetic. And they've got Florida coming up and LSU coming up. Florida on Thursday night, LSU on Saturday night. I think the crowds are going to tell the tale here. I think Thursday night the tip-off is at 8 o'clock. I think it's going to be a difficult game for a lot of people to go to. Number one, they don't want to see Alabama get run out of their own gym. And number two, the time is going to make it difficult for some people to get down there. They'd probably sacrifice some sleep if this team, they feel like this team had a chance to make some noise later on. But right now, I don't know. Big congratulations to James Carpenter. He'll be going to the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks this year, so congratulations to him. There are no Alabama players on the Denver Broncos, but the SEC did set a record for number of players representing the conference in the Super Bowl this year, so the SEC doing work again. And finally, one quick note, Tony Brown, who was an early enrollee this year, he was arrested the other day. Things just got out of hand. He was with a group of people that were playing music too loud, maybe being a little rambunctious. The cops come. The cops end up going after one guy. Tony Brown maybe spouts off a little bit, runs his mouth a little bit much. He ends up getting arrested too. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not a drug-related thing. It's nothing that you don't see other 18-year-old kids getting in trouble for. You definitely don't want to see them get arrested. However, I think everybody at one time has been there before. So that's going to do it for Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Blitz. And we have a phone call. I guess we'll go ahead and take it. We're right here in the middle of the Bama Blitz. Phone call. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I want to ask you, I know Luke's talking about the Alabama Blitz.
Yes.
Who is this defensive tackle that's committed to Alabama that, he signed with Alabama 2 years ago, and somehow he wound up in the junior college. I think he played Daphne.
You think
what his name was?
And you think he played in Canada? Did you
I
say?
think he played at Daphne High School.
Oh, he played at Daphne High School.
Yeah, and he signed with Alabama 2 years ago, and somehow he got in some trouble or something or other. And
Are you talking about DJ Petway?
yeah,
Okay, DJ Petway, he did get in some trouble a couple years ago. You're absolutely right. He ended up going to junior college in Scuba, Mississippi, I believe. And he did everything that was required of him, according to Nick Saban. He went to the junior college. He was basically booted from school. There were 4 kids involved with what he did. All 4 of them were booted from the University of Alabama. And DJ Petway, his involvement was less than the other 4, is my understanding. I can't go into exactly what happened. I don't know that. I do know that it is reported that his involvement was less than the other 3 guys that were involved with the situation. He goes to a junior college, and Nick Saban had told him, I think he was the only one that got told this, that if he goes to junior college and he gets his act together and he straightens up and he flies right, Alabama may give him another chance. And according to his junior college coach and representatives there, he was a model citizen. He did everything that was asked of him, so he's going to get another chance. You know, sometimes you need another chance. Now, sometimes you cross that line a little bit too far, but I think DJ Petway is going to get another shot, and it remains to be seen if he's changed, but we will certainly know next year.
yeah. It's another one that played with him. I heard at junior college. He out of Arkansas. He's a 335-pound guy, but I can't think of what his name is.
Okay.
But they said that I think he might talk to Southern California, but he's already committed to Alabama.
No, you're talking about Josh Frazier, who is not a junior college guy. He is a high school kid. He's a rival. He's just about an everybody top 75 player in the country, very good player. He will visit Southern California, but I don't think this is something that's unexpected. I think he just wants to go out there on Southern California's dime. I don't have a problem with that at all. If I was a high school superstar, I would visit Southern California, UCLA, Hawaii, anywhere that I could go that's a little bit more exotic than Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad to see Bo Davis come back as a defensive lineman coach. I mean, when he coached over Cody and Darius and all of them back.
Yeah, I think Bo Davis coming back, it wasn't necessarily the big splash of a hire like a Tracy Rocker or some other names that were bandied about. But you know what? When you already bring Lane Kiffin in, I think you've made a big enough splash, and it's time to bring somebody maybe that can soothe the waters a little bit, and Bo Davis may be that guy. Listen, we appreciate your phone call, buddy.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Have a good night. That's something new. We do something new, Sportz Blitz Live, all the time. Take a phone call, first time in Bama Blitz history. That's going to do it for the Bradbury Medical Center Alabama Blitz. We'll be back in just a minute with more of Sportz Blitz Live.